I'm here on the set of Jurassic World Rebirth in the Thai jungle. It's pretty mind-blowing to be a part of this world. We're very excited to be here.
Shooting in Thailand was challenging, and people would say, oh, you're going to Bangkok. I was like, no, it's Jurassic. We're in the middle of the jungle, and I wouldn't say the jungle is the most welcoming environment.
These locations, they're really special, and they truly become a character in the film. I don't think this is something that you can do entirely on a lot. I don't think it serves a story. I don't think it serves the performers.
What is so important, especially in a story like this where, you know, there's dinosaurs and we have to suspend our disbelief, is to have the real locations.
When I was reading that script, I was like, it's got to be Thailand. There are this very primal landscape. It has these amazing kind of what we call like Skull Island style cliff formations and beautiful beaches and everything. So we came to lovely Thailand.
So in order to get to this island, first and foremost, we had to drive about 2.5 hours to a port to then get a ferry to an island, which is where most of the cast and crew is staying. And then from that island, every morning we get a 20-minute boat to this one here. Base is the other side of the island, so we always sort of make a pilgrimage or a trek every morning. It's incredibly bonding.
Because of the release date, we had to go straight away, and that was the monsoon or rainy season.
We shot in Thailand during monsoon season, which I don't know whose idea that was, but it ended up working out quite well.
And that was a little humid, and luckily lots of the parts are supposed to be raining because we're on an island, so it's supposed to be raining, sunshine, raining, sunshine.
We've got a pretty large cell moving in right here. Probably more rain, figure that, and maybe some lightning.
The elements definitely were not encouraging of us being there.
It just did.
Good morning.
It's not warm.
I didn't even know what a mangrove was until I got here. Apparently there's a path that we're gonna follow. I don't know how we're gonna see that path, but it's actually very exciting. The water's gonna be up to my chest.
You know, being in the mangroves, like in a wetsuit all day, I was like, you guys are at the chest. I'm right here.
We're in the mangroves. All the roots look like snakes and animals around us, so it lets your imagination run wild.
Being in the mangroves in Thailand was pretty fascinating and a little unsettling. And again, in a way that I think really contributed to whatever I could do as a performer, as an actor that day. I definitely feel like it infused a little bit of fear and discomfort in my performance for sure, because the water was warm but uncomfortable, and there's roots all on the ground and almost like grabbing at your feet.
Well, that wasn't acting. That was true. Yeah. I couldn't stand up.
But it was also really still and beautiful too.
I hate the jungle. I try to avoid it now.
Why is that?
You can't see 3 feet in front of you, and you always know you're being stalked.
Just be light on your feet. It's cool. There's a few bits here. I'll lead the way because I've been there. But there's a few little rocks and roots and stuff in the way.
You can feel the producers sometimes going like, you know, the logistics of now we've all got to film in this water, and you can see them doing the maths, but equally you can see them looking at the images going, but it looks really good, doesn't it? It just feels so like you imagine in like a Tarzan movie or something.
So just finding little opportunities like that, little like starting on one, it moves, and we find the breed.
Great.
That was a pretty unique environment to have to track a camera in. We basically mounted a Libra head to a rescue surfboard and essentially used it as a dolly. We wanted the lens as close as the water as possible. We wanted some shots with a bit of movement to them as well as just on the surface of the water, so we'd put a small crane arm on a small pontoon with the express intention of reaching into the mangroves, doing little jibs up and down. I started thinking, I wonder when I watch this, if I wasn't involved in it, I'd be thinking, how did they track the camera in that way, in that environment? It's a very difficult environment, and I think we got some really cool shots.
I had never been in a mangrove swamp, and it's basically about this deep. It's about 4 feet deep in water that's kind of questionable, and there's all these roots that just extend all over, and there's things that live on the bottom of these mangrove swamps that if you put your foot down, all of a sudden there's something that slides away out from under your foot. You have no idea what it is.
Just adds to the experience of making film, because you want to feel as much of it as possible, and my gosh, do you feel it when you're up to here.
Where's cross service?
I was thrilled when they told us that we were filming on location. Jungle, yes. Mangrove swamp, yes. I love it. It smells like a mangrove. It doesn't smell like some aircraft hangar in North London.
In the middle of the scene, you're seeing monkeys scaling a mountain and bats flying by, and all these things in some ways really contributed to this idea that we were off on this adventure.
How much further?
Not far. The Titanosaur herd should be right across this valley.
We had to create this field behind us. It was just sort of bramble to begin with. So we created it, we dug it up, and we planted this grass, which did not grow very well.
Gareth wanted this like grassy field at a certain height, and we said, okay, let's get in there and figure that out. And we had to bring in professional horticulturalists to understand what it would take to grow grass in the amount of time that we had.
They find a grass called Mombasa. It's a local grass that's growing in the south in this area. So they start planting it, in April, but we're lucky enough that the rainy season start coming in May and June.
Only about 3 weeks before the actual shoot, the grass was only at knee-high, and everybody's going, so is this grass going to grow? Is it going to be here on that height on the day? And we, of course, said, yeah, of course, it's going to be there, not knowing if it was, but it happened.
We're set. And 3, 2, 1, crunch.
Zora and Loomis's group have just come across the Titanosaur herd, so they're trying to get the second sample.
This is a dart rifle, which is used for extracting DNA. It's more of a scientific tool than a lethal weapon. It's a CO2 charged rifle with a PSI reading that has a bolt action and a scope. We also had to incorporate the fact that Scarlett is left-handed, so we chose which side to put the PSI reader and some of the features so that they could be best seen on camera. So there's a lot of R&D that's gone into it.
I am painting a lighting reference for visual effects of the Titanosaur. Obviously, this character, this dinosaur, is going to be humongous, but we still paint head for reference. The visual effects can use on set. They can scan it. They can bring it into their model in the computer. They can lay the paint job basically onto their CG model. We tend to do that for most CG dinosaurs.
This is the grassy plains. This is Titanosaur right here. It's sauropod, 50 feet tall, so the top of its head stands so high up in the air. You'll be able to take in some of these epic vistas when we're shooting. Industrial Light and Magic are going to be putting in the Titanosaurs in post-production. So there's quite a bit of work for us to do here.
I pitched to Gareth that we would have these really long-tailed creatures, and he took that idea and really ran with it. So the tails are very much like ribbons in an Olympic display, slightly genetically modified. So we have a little bit of license to extend tails because of that.
The Titanosaur is one of the earliest creatures that we discussed with Gareth, and he from the very beginning wanted a very musical quality to them, almost like they're singing to each other. Because it's sort of a love scene in a way between these two Titanosaurs, each of them actually has quite a different voice, which will help differentiate them and really make it seem like they're talking to each other.
He just wants this to be unique and beautiful and mesmerizing, and sort of do everything to the audience member that it does to Johnny Bailey during the scene. He starts crying.
You don't see that every day. Or ever.